Boy, if it ain't the war or the weather or cops threatening the planet, it's some kind of sentient being. But dog, they really didn't give Kingo much to do besides make a funny. And it sucks because Marvel really said, hey, look,
Chloe's directing this. It's all her.
Anyway, hello friends, my name is Alicia and welcome to Clips and Coffee. So today we will be reviewing the highly anticipated MCU film directed by Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao. Before I watched the film, there was this uproar about movie critics just absolutely tearing this film apart. Even right now, the Rotten Tomatoes for movie critics are 46%, while the fans' percentage is 80%. And after the Shang-Chi fiasco of the movie critics hating the movie, but then I absolutely loved it.
I was ready to throw hands, okay?
These white male movie critics can't see past their own privileged goggles to see the beauty that is diversity in a top film franchise. So I went to the movie theater with no expectation but an open mind. I mean, a friggin' Asian woman directed this film. And after all was said and done, I came home.
And I was so disappointed, y'all.
Friends, I am not the biggest fan of this film, sad to say. I know.
I'm shocked myself.
And to maybe find out why I don't too much care for this movie, I'm actually gonna take like a movie critic's formula and see if I can critique this movie myself. So it's the battle of the Eternals versus movie critics. Just a disclaimer that these are my
Opinions. My opinion!
and we're all entitled to them, okay? Okay, so I should mention that I haven't read any Marvel comic books aside for like the first 2 issues of Ironheart, so my knowledge of the source material is non-existent. But I have heard from some actual comic book readers that the Eternals story in the comic books are fine. It's just like not a story that they care to see made a whole movie about. The Eternals are about 10 sentient beings that were sent to Earth to protect the human race from deviants. After eradicating them, the Eternals started to lead normal lives until the threat of deviants rose up again. And now they must fight to protect the human race. To put it plainly, 10 old heads gotta fight these demon dogs to protect a planet that always seems to be in danger for some reason. Boy, if it ain't the war or the weather or cops threatening the planet, it's some kind of sentient being. But I believe the plot is solid. It's believable for the world that we're in, and it's fairly easy to follow along. But the friggin' execution it just didn't hit like it was supposed to. The twists and turns just are motivated by flip-floppy ideals that just switch back and forth because plot. And I feel like the pacing was rushed due to that. So I'm gonna give this to the critics. Okay, you slap Marvel on anything and people will sprint to it, no matter how bad it is. Ooh. The MCU has built up enough of a resume to release something and know
Somebody gonna go watch it.
Like, even after watching the action-packed and star-studded trailer, this movie was kind of hard to not be intrigued in, at least. The attraction is definitely there, so I'm gonna give this to the Eternals. I believe the theme of this movie is surrounded by family. This movie puts a big emphasis on the Eternals between each other, but also between the Eternals and the humans. Even though us humans be hard to love, it allows you to have emotional investments while watching aliens get rocked. I'll give this to the Eternals. This is where we start to take a turn. Okay. I want to preface this by saying I personally don't think that any of the characters were like fully developed. I feel like I left the theater knowing more about the lady I sat next to on the bus than any of these main characters. But I'm going to quickly give my opinion on all the characters and the performances from my favorite to least favorite. Number 1, Thena.
Marvel would take you so long.
Even though the bar as far as the character goes is not too high, I feel like Angelina gave
What needed to be gave.
She gave the emotion that was needed for this character while also having that regalness of being the goddess of war. Oh yes, so Thena is Athena from Greek mythology, the goddess of war.
Who knew?
Not me.
However, Miss Thena was given a story arc that kind of went nowhere. She had these episodes that were later revealed to be, we'll call them visions. And after that, we said,
And by we, I mean the audience and the movie.
we said, okay.
Okay.
But I think all around, Ange gave a great performance as expected. Number 2, Icarus. Richard is so good to look at.
Don't flirt with him.
I'm not going to.
Anywho, Icarus was given like the second most to do in the film, and I think he did pretty good with what he was given. To me, it looked like Richard was focused on giving his character, who can seem like a 50s Superman, like perfection and all, by giving the character some weight, and I think that he did that with the emotions that he was giving to the character. Number 3, Fastos. One of them. I feel like Brian Henry is like Lakeith Stanfield in the sense that they both take... They both take any character and make it theirs. I feel like Brian did a good job with his comedic timing and the emotions he was giving the character. They don't really give him much to do until like the third act, but like when he's speaking, I'm focused. Number 4, Kingo. They really said, here's Kumail Nanjiani.
Have fun.
Kingo was a fairly interesting character. He was kind of boisterous and definitely the comedic relief. I think the reason why I put him up this high is because Kumail actually did make me laugh. He is hilarious. But dog, they really didn't give Kingo much to do besides make a funny. You see how ain't given much to do is a reoccurring theme? Number 5, Druig. Now, Barry gave what Barry needed to give.
Even if what he was given was a bunch of leftovers.
Druig was one of the least developed characters, but I feel Barry gave a pretty good performance of like the anti-hero that made it entertaining to watch. Whenever he was on screen anyway. Number 6, Makari. Oh, I love Makari. Did you know Miss Lauren is 43 years old?
Huh?
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie.
Anyhow, I will say she was given the least to do, and the story did not care. She was in the beginning of the movie, and then we didn't see her behind until like the ending of the second act. But I thought Lauren was just so charming, and I loved her performance. Number 7, Gilgamesh. It wasn't until I was writing the script that I realized that that's the king from Train to Busan.
Love him.
Anyways, in this movie, he was all right. He came, he did his job, he got his check, nothing more, nothing less. I do like his relationship that he had with Thena, but that's about it. Ooh, bottom 3. Number 8, Ajak. Now, the only reason she's above our next 2 queens is because she was slightly less annoying to me. For such a big actress and a big character, I was given very little. I personally just didn't believe Sama as the leader of the group. Like, there were scenes that I truly didn't know what emotions she was emoting. Love your vibes, but I could not. Number 9, Sprite. Oh, Miss Mamas was annoying. Not the actor, but the character. It was the fact that the character was driven by a crush, but was still so flip-floppy in her motivations. Like, Leah was cute, but that's all I got for her. I'm sorry. Number 10, Cersei.
Hold me back. Hold me back. No, hold me back.
Cersei was given the most and gave me the least. For being the main character, I know nothing about her other than the fact that she likes her boyfriend and cell phones.
Huh? What was even the point of that?
I didn't believe Gemma was a sentient being at all. And that forceful relationship between her and Icarus may have been switched out with Druig and Makari because I was more invested in them. Like, we were robbed. That was the relationship we should have had. This round goes to the critics. Yeah, this stressed the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like, when people were speaking, it just sounded like exposition, which is to be understood because we're taken through a multi-century ride with 10 different brand new characters that we know nothing about. I just feel like the dialogue wasn't as fluid as it could have been. It just felt like we were trying to get the story to push along by giving us information at every point in the movie. It wasn't terrible. I just wasn't invested. So this goes to the critics. Okay, we're back. The cinematography was beautiful. The wide shots were amazing. The color grading was much darker than any MCU film, but it was still really beautiful. One thing that I loved about Nomadland was the wide shots, and I feel like Chloe really brought that into this movie, and it was beautiful. And exploring like the different places that we were, like through the different timelines. Yeah, I loved it. Giving this to Chloe. Okay, the editing had me cocking my neck to the side a couple times. I got a little kink there. Like there were just some scenes where we wouldn't see a character speak for about 3 to 4 shots, actually. It would be a dialogue between 2 characters. We would be looking at the listening character while the other character is speaking off screen. And then the next shot would be the person that was just speaking, but now they're listening, and the other person is speaking off screen. And then we flip to the other side of the person that was listening or talking, but is now listening, and the other person is speaking off screen. I mean, cool. I personally don't like that, but that's just me. But the effects were beautiful. Oh, CGI was amazing, and I love how grandiose they made their powers and the Centennials look. I guess we'll give this to both Eternals and the critics. Actually, I'm gonna give this to the Eternals. And I have orange hair. All right, I'm not gonna hold you. I wasn't paying close attention to the music. But I do love the sound effects of when they were landing punches. It got me all tingly inside. So I'll give this to the Eternals. I don't think my issue with the movie is directing per se.
Oui, oui, baguette.
But I'll say, I feel like it didn't really help much. I feel like I was watching a mutant of 2 movies, and not in a good way. It looked like we were watching Chloe's film, but then Disney came in and was like, this is what I want. And it was just like both of them trying to meet in the middle, and I personally just wasn't the biggest fan of it. And it sucks because Marvel really said, hey, look,
Chloe's directing this. It's all her.
in the marketing and stuff. And so, you know, now she's responsible for this mildly enjoyed movie. So I guess I gotta give this to the critics. All right, let's tally this up. Wait, it's a tie? Do I actually like the movie? Maybe this is why I'm not a
movie critic.
I don't know. I didn't hate the film. I just kind of enjoyed it for what it was, but it still just left me just feeling
Lacking? No.
wanting more. I kind of see this movie as like the Power Rangers, like with all the cheese, but none of the self-awareness. Megazord and all, actually. But please do go watch this film. A lot of people put their talent and time into it, and honestly, I still support every single person that was in this film. And I kind of had fun. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Eternals. Let me know what you thought of the movie. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you don't care for this video at all, keep your thoughts and prayers to yourself. And yeah, thank you once again for supporting me by watching this video. If you want to give it a like, that'd be great. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great as well. I love you guys. I thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.